welcome! This is a Briolates-inspired yoga workout, or what I like to call BriYOGA. Let's go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to start out seated and cross-legged if that's comfortable for you. If another seated position is more comfortable, that's totally fine. If you're cross-legged here, let's place the backs of the hands on the knees and gently let the eyes close. Just taking a few minutes here to center, to let go of any to-do lists, any worries, any stresses of the day, and just allow yourself to be completely present here and now in this moment. Take note of where your spine is at, and see if you can lengthen through the crown of the head a bit, rolling the shoulders down and back. And just feel yourself sitting nice and tall, strong and proud. Our breathing here is in through the nose and out through the nose. This nose breathing allows us to slow down and warm the breath a bit. Now begin to take note of what your breath feels like today. Without passing any judgment as to what is right or wrong, just take a second to notice what is coming naturally today. Is it a quicker, more shallow breathing pattern? Is it slow and deep? Is it smooth? Or does it feel a little more jagged today? Honor where your breath and your body are right now, today, in this moment. Begin to settle into a rhythm with your breath. Nice, even, steady breaths that emulate the waves of the ocean, the natural ebb and flow. And try to even imitate the sound of the waves of the ocean with your breath by opening up the back of the throat, allowing more space for the air to move through while keeping the mouth closed. Feel the belly expand with each inhale and gently sink back in with each exhale. and formulate an intention for this yoga practice. Where would you like your mind and your heart to be? What would you like to get out of this? And how would you like it to change your outlook and your mindset for the day? Begin to formulate what that looks like. Now gently and slowly, begin to open the eyes, very gradually, very gently, to let the light of the room back in. And let's go ahead and stretch the legs out to a V position here. Feel free to reposition a little bit so that you're right up on top of those sits bones, sitting nice and tall, lengthening through the spine. We'll bring the hands down to the front. Take a deep breath in here to prepare. And on the exhale, just begin to fold forward while keeping the spine relatively flat, still maintaining that tallness through the crown of the head. Just coming to your boundary of tension, whatever feels right today. Now take another deep breath in, and on the exhale, begin to round the spine a bit, just allowing the weight of the head to pull you down toward the floor, and hold. Notice if there are any muscles that are feeling unnecessarily tight, that are kind of holding you back from being able to just sink into this posture. And if so, try to actively breathe into those muscles. Tell them it's okay to relax. And exhale away the tension. And beginning to stack the spine and roll back up to a nice tall posture. Very nice. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, slide down, flat back. Just to your boundary of tension. Find what feels good. And on your next exhale, round the spine, drop the head, and sink into this pose. Gently rolling back up. Very nice. And let's bring the legs back to the cross-legged position, placing one hand on the opposite knee, the other hand behind the back, gently twisting and looking over the shoulder. As we inhale here, try to allow the spine to grow taller. And on the exhale, try to come just a tad bit deeper into the pose with a slightly deeper twist, looking a little farther over the shoulder to whatever point is comfortable for you today. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Let's unwind, coming back to the center, moving to the other side, so the hand comes across to the opposite knee, other hand comes behind the body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Checking in with the breath and becoming aware of the expansion of the belly with every inhale. That natural ebb and flow, like the waves of the ocean, contracting back in on the exhale. Unwinding to the center. And now let's roll over the knees if that's comfortable for you. We're going to make our way to all fours. If you'd rather not roll over the knees, you can come to this position another way. All right, in all fours, we're going to move our way to a downward facing dog. So we're just going to tuck the toes under here, press the tailbone up toward the ceiling, and usually when we first do this, the legs are a little stubborn, right? They're a little tight, and so for me it's helpful to just pedal out the feet a little bit, being real gentle, but just moving side to side, making sure that this doesn't feel like a bouncy motion, but instead a controlled, dynamic stretch. And you'll notice with every pedal of the feet that the calves start to loosen out a little bit and become less resistant to this pose. Now place both heels down. You can even spread the legs a tiny bit wider, about hip width apart if that's helpful for you. And just like when we were twisting the spine, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen a little bit by pressing a little deeper into the heels. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, deepen in the lower body. Now go ahead and move your head so that you're looking between your hands. And we're going to move the right leg forward. We're going to take a giant step and try to land that foot, if you can, right between the hands. Setting that back knee down, the left leg, uncurling the toes, and we're going to move from here up to a crescent pose. So the important thing here is that we keep the leg and the hip in the exact same position it is right now, and we just peel the chest up off of the leg. Feel a nice stretch through that back hip flexor. At the same time, this front leg is working really hard to support this pose. Now feel free to place your hands right here on the leg for a little bit of stability. If this feels easy, you can remove the hands, even bring them up toward the ceiling to make the balance a little bit more of a challenge. Breathe deeply and allow that hip flexor in the back to surrender and give in and release its tension. We'll notice as you continue to breathe that it will start to ease up and you'll feel that hip sinking gently toward the floor a little bit farther. Now go ahead and bring the hands down. An option here, if you'd like, is to curl those back toes under again. Lift the back knee up, and we're only going to do this for a few seconds because this is really intense, but keep the hips down, and once again, peel the chest up off of that leg, reaching the arms toward the ceiling. Again, we're only going to be here for a moment. Try to stay focused, stay calm. And come on down. Ooh, very nice. Place that back knee down, and you can come back into all fours. All right, very good job. So we're going to once again curl the toes under, pressing back to the downward facing dog. Doing a little bit of pedaling side to side, but noticing how different this feels than when we came into it a moment ago. Everything's a little more pliable, a little bit more willing to move and bend. Taking a look between your hands, stepping that left leg now forward with a giant step right up between those hands. Setting the back knee down, uncurling the toes, and peeling up to the crescent pose. Again, having the arms up here is just an option. If it's better for you, you can certainly place them on the leg, no problem at all. I'm finding with every breath that this hip is just a little bit more willing to open and lengthen. Let's bring the arms down, curl those back toes back under again, and here's for our big challenge. Now this is kind of like the calm within the storm. There's going to be a lot of storm going on in the lower body, but try to keep the face completely relaxed, the mind laser focused, calm within the storm, okay? Here we go. Let's peel up and lift. And down. Very nice. I know I was shaking a little bit on that one. Tough work for the lower body. Moving back into all fours. Let's do a little bit of cat and cow. So the cat stretch rounds up like this. The head drops down. You should feel a nice stretch through the back. And then gliding down to the cow stretch for this one. The tailbone comes up. The head comes up, draw the shoulders down and back. Feeling a stretch now through the abdominals. And now gently transitioning between the two poses. So coming to cat and to cow. Let's inhale on the cow. Exhale here on the cat. And let your breath dictate the speed of this movement. So rather than making your breath match the movement, I want you to listen to your breath and move at the same speed that you're naturally breathing. Now hold here in all fours. And we're going to move into thread the needle. So take the hand that's farthest away from me and just slide it right behind your other hand, coming all the way down until your head is resting on the floor. This is a great way to stretch out the spinal rotators, but also the shoulder and the upper back on the side that's down. So feel free to close your eyes. Just take a moment and enjoy this pose. Easing out of it, unwinding. Back to all fours, and we're going to transition to the other side. So the hand that's closest to me just reaches underneath, glides down, gently rest the head on the mat. Unwinding here, coming back to the center. And let's just cross one foot over the other, slide our way back to the cross-legged position. Hold here for a moment. Again, lengthening through the spine. Slowing the breath down. Settling back into that rhythmic, steady breathing pattern. Check in with your intention for today's practice. Re-embrace that intention. Recommit to it. And refocus your mindset. And from here, open the eyes, extend the legs out. Feel free to reposition on the mat a little bit so that there's room behind you. We're going to be rolling down in a moment to the floor to the final pose that we call Shavasana, which is a pose of complete rest and relaxation. But before we do that, one more little challenge that we'll throw in, okay? This is called the boat pose. So I'd like you to go ahead and just fold the spine back a little bit until it feels like gravity coming down is making it difficult to hold yourself up. Okay, there's a little bit of a challenge going on for the abs. Try to balance as you bring the legs up and hold the bottom part of the legs, the shins, at a parallel angle with the floor. Okay? Once you're here, if you can let go ahead and do that. Lengthen through the neck. Squeeze the legs together, really engaging that lower body. Really, the whole body's working here, right? We've got the abdominals. We certainly have the core. We have the lower body. And this is a good time to insert that Briolates scoop. All right, that'll really help to support this pose. Give you the strength and the abdominal power to be able to sustain it. All right, let's lower that down. And now rolling down to the mat, just like we would for a regular Briolates class, tucking the tailbone under and trying to articulate through every vertebra of the spine. Rolling with control all the way down. Now I would invite you here to place your arms at your sides with the palms facing up. Bring the legs about hip-width apart and allow the feet to gently splay out to either side. Again, this is Shavasana, a pose of complete rest, complete relaxation. So go ahead and close your eyes. Allow your body to feel heavy and to sink into the mat beneath you. Give your body permission to surrender. Let go. Release any tension, any stresses that might be holding on to, whether physical or mental. heighten your awareness to the points of contact that your body has with the floor. Notice the back of the head, the elbows and backs of the arms, the middle part of the back, the hips and buttocks, the calves, and the heels. Inhale and breathe into each of those contact points. Exhale and release and relax all of the muscles and joints around them. So that with every breath, the body becomes more restful and the mind becomes more quiet. Now, in your own time, as you feel ready, you can bend the knees, place the feet flat on the floor, just roll the knees toward me, allow your body to follow. And in no particular rush or hurry, as you feel ready, you can use your arms to gently guide you back up to the seated position where we started. I want to thank you all so much for being here with me today, for doing this yoga practice with me. I think it's amazing to me how different I feel. Not just physically, but mentally as well when I do something like this, and how it just sets the stage for a successful rest of the day, a more joyful rest of the day, a more calm and serene rest of the day, and how I can just carry this mindset with me. It really feels like a gift, and I hope that it does that for you as well. Let's take one more deep breath in. Reaching up, stretching, lengthening. The palms of the hands come together right in front of the heart. And with this, I'll say to you, Namaste.